Hey, hey. All right, guys, let's get into a specific message. I was actually going to do a love message, and instead I had this burning image pop into my head of somebody with like a pool floaty, or like, I don't know if it's one of the pool lounges or like a big old inner tube, but it was like pool related apparatus. So I don't know if this is for an indoor pool, outdoor pool. I don't know if this has anything to do with just floating along, relaxing, or if this is somebody who just simply has, like access to something. Um, well, we got this card out not too long ago. We've got two people, obviously at some kind of a distance. Nikki, oh, hey, beauty. So nice to see you again, love. Um, there's all these photos rotating around. I don't know if this is like a reel or something, on like, one of the social medias, where you swipe or you scroll. But these two clearly spend a bit of time checking each other out. Well, pretending that they don't. So I don't know yet. This is a masculine and a feminine that we have. I'm going to get one more here. Ginger Montague, so good to see you, beauty. Okay, we have the Venus flytrap. There is like desire here. Plain and simple, there is desire. A feminine is somebody he can't stop looking at again and again and again. She knows it. Oh God, what's that song? I think you know it. I think she knows it. Oh gosh, it's in and out of my head so fast I can't grab it in my head. This feminine is sending out the alluring, if she's posting pictures of herself, they're good looking pictures and she knows it. Oh, there goes the song again. I think she knows it. Those flashing lights come from everywhere. It's Justin Timberlake. And she's bad and she knows. I think that she knows. Let's dance. Yeah, she looks like a model, but with a little more ass. That's how the song starts. I can't think of what the name of it is, but those flashing lights come from everywhere. That's in the song. So I'm just going to say that maybe she's striking poses like a model. Maybe she's intentionally, nobody wants a bad photo of themselves, right? But of course, we all have hideous driver's licenses. But she's in control of whatever picture she posts. Well, so is he. Both of them, I feel, have like they're thinking of each other. If they post pictures on social media, they're both thinking about looking their best, or they're thinking that the other one will likely see it. In this story, we got too many photos here, and we got her more of the like, she's using that feminine allure for sure, and she knows she's doing it. Even here, like she doesn't have a typical little like messenger. She's got like the red cardinal, and she's wearing blood red. She may have like really exotic features, really gorgeous cheekbones, dark hair, dark hair and color red just looks so good together. Although honestly, I think everybody looks amazing in red. I think it's such a great color on anybody. She's not provocative though. She's smoky. There's a big difference here. If she is very alluring, she does it in a very classy way, not in an overtly sensualized way, but instead like old classic Hollywood movie style kind of class, like very, very feminine. There's something about the way she like photographs or the way she presents herself is always like, she's a lady. I'm hearing Tom Jones. She's a lady. Whoa, whoa, whoa. She's a lady. We got the Eight of Swords. God, he's stuck on her way more than he'd like to admit. I feel like she is almost a distraction for him. I feel like he may be thinking in his own head, I got to quit thinking about her. It's a little embarrassing. I'm thinking about her a little too much. What's the deal with you being stuck? Hi, everybody. Death card. There's something here that he's like, I need to change the way I do things. He's thinking that about his own actions, not like, oh, it's over, I need to forget her, but more like, I got to change the way I do things. Maybe when he's attracted to somebody, has a tendency to like withdraw and go shy. And he's like, God, I got to stop that. I got to stop. We have Magician sideways. Sorry, guys, I was just out walking Aries, and so now I'm going to cough for a bit again because I was out in the smoke. So sorry. I'm so sorry. I know that sounds terrible on camera. Um, as I say, smoke, and we've got smoke all over the place. I don't know. Maybe somebody vapes, or maybe somebody cooked something, and I'm picturing somebody like searing meat in a cast iron skillet or something, or they're going out for like really good fajitas or something on a sizzling plate. But he's thinking he needs to do things a little bit different. I'm going to say he's shy. That's the vibe that I get. This is somebody, even here, he's sitting there kind of like, oh man, he withdraws, he tucks himself away. Maybe he goes into solitude, especially when he's drawn to someone. That could be a tendency that he has, and he knows he has it, and he's trying to manifest getting out of that, that awkwardness. Look, he could be super sexy, super suave, and still really, really shy when he's attracted to somebody. He may be comfortable and awesome when he's just palsy-welsing around with people, but if he's like really attracted to a feminine like this, okay, yeah, there's more at stake. That could be a soulmate. So he gets nervous. We keep seeing him in window sills, and both times he's inside. Excuse me again. We keep seeing him tucking himself away. I feel like he goes into solitude mode, and then he goes into fantasy mode. And maybe social media is like the worst thing ever for him, because he can look at someone without even attempting dialogue, while knowing this is somebody I really want to have dialogue with. I feel connected to this person somehow. Okay, so I'm thinking he's a shy guy. That's how he comes across. He could have kind of an old soul also, even though I would put him more around probably 30s, 40s, 50s, but he's got a decidedly like old soul. This is kind of endearing. Like he's got kind of a grandpa's like kind of like maybe old school chivalry or something. But he's in modern days. I could understand how that would be like a bit of a conflict. Ace of Wands in the reverse. And he keeps being convinced that probably she won't like me. Probably she wouldn't be interested in me. I don't know why he wants to discount himself, but he thinks on her side, she probably wouldn't be interested in me. Darling, she's dressing up specifically. I don't think she's just trying to allure anyone. The two of them are on this card for a reason. She thinks of him, he thinks of her. So I don't know where the disconnect is, why he's like, no, I'm sure she's not thinking of me. She comes across, again, very, very feminine. Again and again, we see her in like really beautiful dresses. We see her like in kind of different time period piece. Like even her hair is kind of, we've got like the, kind of femme fatale of the like 1950s, like Humphrey Bogart type images. But then further back, we've got kind of like I don't know, almost like a French courtesan style hairdo. It feels like maybe they both are kind of old-fashioned or like timeless characters, because even here she's still very subdued. She's smoky and sexy, but she's not like showing a bunch of skin. So I still feel like maybe both of them have a certain like old-fashioned grace to them, or I'll just say, like a more modest approach, even though they're both very interested. With the Ten of Pentacles sideways, she would like to connect with him. That is one of the reasons she's putting out that vibe. I don't know if somebody like has a real love for good artisan bread, but we definitely have. I feel like more it's like a family tradition, though. This looks like one of those old European style bakeries that you find sometimes in like really great cities, or like European cities. There's such amazing, like, there's such a difference between like the bread that we buy in the grocery store and real bread. I don't even know why we buy it in the grocery store when it's like such a pale imitation. This looks like that good, crusty, amazing bread. I think, again, that talks of substance. These are characters who they are very sexy, very attracted to each other. They, though, are certainly still this throwback to wanting something of greater substance, someone of greater substance. Let me go back to the very beginning, though, and ask what's the deal with the pool noodles? Excuse me, guys, again. So sorry. Oh my gosh. Knight of Pentacles. So the idea of somebody like having a pool noodle or a pool lounge or something, think about it. If you're just in a contained vat of water like that, you're going to just kind of like only drift if a little bit of a breeze comes through. You're not moving fast. It's not like you're going down rapids on a raft. It's not like you're headed to the ocean. It's not you're following the river and you're charting, this extravagant adventure. This Knight of Pentacles is the slowest moving knight. And I fear that these characters are so, particularly him, when it comes to him like changing the way he does things, maybe breaking out of his shyness a little bit, I fear that he thinks about it, but the same way we think about doing stuff when we're chilling in the pool, we're not likely to get up and go do anything other than keep chilling in the pool for a while. We're not in a place of grand activity. We're pretty much chill. We're not out exploring rivers and rapids. We're not out at sea. We're just in a pool. And I have to say, this slow moving energy, even though his mind imagines what he'd like to do, I don't see him taking much action. I know we have like a marathon runner or somebody running in a race, but the juxtaposition here is like you're running a race, but you're moving at a snail's pace or a turtle's pace. Knight of Pentacles. Now, what I would say, the best interpretation is, baby, you are burning daylight hours. You could be kissing this woman. It's a woman that you like. You're wasting energy. Are you going to be 73 before you ever go and talk to her? Are you going to like let years of your life continue to pass by all the while you stare at her pictures and never go talk to her because you keep sitting indoors on your window ledge? There is an element where mortality comes into this, and just the reminder that every day is precious and we have a good long life, of course, but you could spend a bigger chunk of those years perhaps getting to know her if you took some action instead of we're chilling in the pool. This just says our life moves more swiftly if we stay in fantasy land instead of activity land. It's probably better to take action on the things that we think about and the people that we want to talk to and actually get up and go do something and go talk to them instead of fantasize about it. Because I think that can put us into a time period where we think we're doing a lot and instead it's just a lot of time is passing. I don't know. That worries me just a bit. Tell me only about her if we could. Two of Wands. She may live in an area where the sky visibility at night is really good. She may spend some time, like looking up at the stars. But we also see like there's an awful lot of, I don't know if she has to drive to the outskirts of a city or something. If she every night like drives home from something and there's like a lot of lights and then she gets out into, maybe she lives like outside of a major metropolis or something. We've got the Ace of Swords and the Wild card. She keeps having like a flower. Here she holds like a red, I would say that's actually a zinnia, actually. And then we've got a rose. No, sorry, peony. But always a single flower. To me, this keeps speaking of somebody who tends to keep to herself. If she's this single flower out in a field and this holding this single flower, I think it explains that on one hand, she's highly selective also. She's very single, but she would, I think, rather have somebody who's like going to go ahead and take that leap toward her. But it's rare that she finds somebody that she would want to attract into her world. When she does want to attract somebody, she definitely sets her sights on them. And I think she's a little bit more outgoing than the masculine in this. But with that wild card and the Ace of Swords, I almost feel like she may be somebody who reaches out for the things that she wants. I mean, first she'll try the allure of the Venus flytrap, right? But then, even a Venus flytrap, they send out that chemical signature that attracts the fly, and then they take action, right? And close around the fly. It almost seems though like I think she's a bit of a wild card in that she might go ahead and reach out to them. She might just decide, I can't do this waiting and wondering, because I think she's wondering, what if I did with that Two of Wands? It's this action or that action. If they never come toward me, am I prepared to say, well, I guess, I put out the alluring vibes, but they didn't take the bait, so I let them go? I don't know. To me, she's kind of somebody who might randomly just say, I think I'll reach out to them because I don't want to have missed opportunities. She could go either way. That wild card says sometimes she just decides to speak her mind with that Ace of Swords. So I don't know what she's going to do. King of Cups. Part of it still, I think, depends upon how she interprets their behavior. Again, he comes across as kind of like a man who's old before his time, and he's not old at all. Like, this dude's got a young body, super fit, but then he has this white beard. I don't think he looks old. I think he probably looks youthful, but I think his personality is something quite old school. And maybe she can see that. She can look at, like, he's like a little old man inside. He's got old school, gentlemanly behavior, but I think he's a sweetheart. That might be why she would approach him, if she feels like he might be too respectful to ever really approach me. So I might approach him. I could see if that's where she lands, if that's how she interprets his behavior, I could see her making the first move in his direction, because she would be like, that's okay. I already know this is somebody that I think is a nice person, but I also think it could take him too many years to ever, approach me. So we have a Queen of Swords upright. Oh, sweet. I love that. Thank you for adding that in. The meaning of the flower is sweet. That's a great comment. Yeah, I would definitely say she's somebody who talk about wild card. She's dressed like Indiana Jones over here. She's willing to take a leap of faith. She may be British or hail from England. That's always an England card because we see Big Ben back here. She may be somebody that's just willing to go ahead and, speak her mind. A Queen of Swords tends to be good at speaking her mind, but we also see a more adventurous soul, which fits very nicely with what we've seen here. By the way, she may look really cute in hats. We see her in hats a couple different times. Always, again, something that like complements who she is, complements her whole like ensemble and everything. But there's definitely this energy to her of, I don't think she chases. I mean, she's a queen, but I also don't think she dawdles and wastes her own precious time. She's not shy, but she's also not overly forward. She's somewhere in between. It would depend on the circumstances. It would depend on the person as to whether or not she's going to reach out to them. And this is weird, but I feel like she likes very specific kinds of like pastries. Like, I don't know if it's like croissants or I'm actually picturing something that has like powdered sugar on it. She eats it like a pig. Don't ask me where that's coming from, but like otherwise she's very well put together. But I think, it's impossible to eat like flaky pastries with powdered sugar without like at some point snorting it up your nose, blowing it across the table at somebody across from you, having it all down your shirt, not knowing that it's smattered across your face. Like nobody can eat a powdered sugar donut with grace. I think that is like a leveling mechanism for all human beings. It doesn't matter how sophisticated you are. You try to eat a powdered sugar anything, and you're going to look like a messy child. And I think that brings everybody down to the same level of just kind of like feeling a little bit like, oh gosh, I'm a mess. I don't know why I get that vibe from her, because she seems so well put together everywhere, but then still like pretty, I don't know, that she doesn't feel like she's somebody who's playing this role of being the femme fatale that is, too cool. You know how in the films they make very one-dimensional characters, where it's like, if you're the cool hero, then you'll always have the, smart ass comeback. You'll always have just the perfect thing to say. You'll always be the person that, somehow the heroes in movies can do like inhuman feats. But I feel like, although she kind of comes across that way at first, that is not really her persona. I think she's pretty like legit, pretty, yes, she's a little bit of a wild card. Yes, she's kind of bold, but I don't feel like she's a persona, like she's trying to pretend that she, is perfect. She definitely likes something about him that she sees as like a sincerity, a kindness. Like, it's like she likes a good guy. She wants somebody with emotions. She's not looking for a muscle-bound hero in a movie. She's looking for a nice guy, maybe somebody a little old-fashioned, maybe somebody who's genuinely sweet, maybe somebody who's kind of shy. It's like, I feel like she likes that sincerity. It's kind of sweet. We've got the Queen of Cups. She kind of pictures herself growing old with somebody like that. In fact, she may really like the idea of growing old. That may be something that she doesn't, worry about at all. She may feel like that's the kind of partner I've been looking for, is somebody that I could picture. You don't have to be picture perfect and, the leading movie star your whole life. You can actually embrace like slowing down together and, enjoying watching each other's hair colors change and, staying in love with your partner and having a really nice, next chapter of life together. Growing old doesn't mean that you don't have a fulfilling life. It means you have a very, like, sometimes a more fulfilling life with a whole bunch of different things that you didn't get to enjoy before. And I think that's how she embraces this, but it'd be nice to embrace it with the kind of partner who has that same perspective. So I think her gravitating toward an old soul, I think it's because she feels like he's somebody I could be real with. He's somebody I could be comfortable with. He's somebody that I could feel like we can age together nicely and gracefully and have a really good time, great conversations. So I think she's quite smitten with him. That's how this comes across. Like, we have this feminine who's quite smitten with him. He's smitten with her as well. Let me just ask, what do you want from her? What do you want from her? Six of Swords. I'm hearing, Dvořáčka. I love Dvořáčka. They're on tour right now, by the way. Amazing band. If you get a chance to see them, oh my God. But, oh gosh, there's this place that I know where they take everything slow. You're the one I would take with me. It's a perfect place to be with a girl like you. If you only knew, we could leave right now. Come on, let's go. I think it's called New World is, I think, the title of it. And there's a line in it that I so love. And anytime the song comes up, I always quote this one line, because he says in this like really powerful vocal, was it real what you said? Because you sounded so true. I don't know. It just feels like he'd like to kind of escape with her. Like, God, it'd be so nice to be with somebody like her. But maybe he thinks he lives kind of a simple life. He's like, would you want to live a simple life with me? With that Six of Swords, it's like, I want something really peaceful. Maybe that's why we see him retreating quite a bit. I don't think he does high levels of stress very well. Ten of Swords. There's also an element of, would she leave a big city for me? Ten of Swords. You see her again in London, but this is like, I'm hearing leaving Las Vegas, Sheryl Crow. But this is like, would I be willing to go? Would she be willing to, shift energy with me and come with me? Is it the right time? Would she be, I don't know, it's almost like these two don't have enough interaction to know, do they want the same things yet? As the moon is here going, well, you're never going to know if she'd be willing to do that unless you talk to her at some point. She is this mystery to him. I guess I see more, when I was asking, like, what do you want from her? And it's like, well, I wish I knew if she was willing to like join me in kind of my quieter lifestyle, but she's mysterious to me. Oh gosh, there goes another song. She's a Mystery Girl by Roy Orbison. Darkness falls and she will take me by the hand, take me to some twilight land. Um, sorry. It's got great drums in that one too, and I'm hearing the whole thing right now. I'm taking it to the bridge in my head right now. Night falls, I'm cast beneath her spell. Daylight comes, our heavens turn to hell. Okay, we've got the Six of Wands with the Emperor in the reverse. For some reason, he thinks that she is like really successful, and like maybe he wants to not be in any kind of limelight, and she might be like glowing up right now. And maybe that's why he's like, I don't know if she loves, what if she loves to be super social? What if she has big aspirations to become more seen, more famous, more visible, more this, more that? And I actually want to retreat and retreat and retreat. It almost feels like I'm not saying he's like afraid to be seen. I'm interpreting this so differently. Normally, an emperor in the reverse is not a good thing, but I don't look at it that way right now. I look at it as the difference between, God, she's amazing. She wants to be out in the more like visibility, and she should be. Meanwhile, I'll probably be too dull if I'm trying to retreat and live a quieter life and kind of disappear off the grid. Would she leave a big city? Would she live a simpler life with me? All those things. That's one of the other reasons I think he's not moving toward her, like much at all, because he's not sure who would want to do that with him. Well, again, all I can say is you're never going to know unless you gravitate toward her, which boils it back down to right now he's enjoying those pictures of her, right? He's enjoying like watching her from afar kind of thing. If you're content with mere fantasy, then that might not be that they're a great match. We have the Tower. He's like, no, I'm not content with mere fantasy. This is the change. This is the freedom from that mindset. This is the liberation energy. There has been a bit of ego here, is what it says. And he's needed to maybe recognize exactly what we've been saying in this. If you like somebody, but you just don't know if she'd want to join you in the life that you'd like to live, the only way you'll find out is if you go talk to her. And if you're not willing to do that, then apparently fantasy is better than reality. And he's like totally disagreeing with that. Like that was the sentence that shook him out of this. Like, oh, hell no. No. Like I may be old fashioned and this and that, but I don't live in fantasy land. Good. So we gotta like, a sentence that kind of brought him to the table. It's so funny because she's over here in hermit mode at this point. I don't know if it's raining where she's at right now. She could live, in maybe she's in the southern hemisphere or something, or maybe it's a rainy day in London or something like that. But she's kind of like she's not thinking about moving toward him right now. We saw that because she is a bit of a wild card, she might at some point. Currently in this storyline, she's not gravitating toward, reaching out to him. Not right now, anyhow. So it is his move. If this were a chess game, it is his move. And in fact, right now, I don't even think that she's thinking about him so much. She seems to be distracted doing other things. Maybe she's reading a book, as we see there, or maybe she's just somebody who's like, having her own kind of quiet day. It's interesting how when he gets more of the energy to maybe, jump up and do something, that's when she's in the energy of more passive. Whereas at the beginning of this, he was kind of more passive and, that pool energy. So that could also indicate that they could be really great partners. Even here with the rotating device that holds the photos, I'm wondering if they do change positions sometimes. Like I look at you, then you look at me. I think of you, then you think of me. It could be that, as I say, maybe they are complements to each other in some respects, and we literally get the Six of Pentacles. This is really, really nice. I love the fact that we have this little girl playing her violin and the polar bear is in harmony with her. We've got the sign that says save the planet as well. It could really be that these two, not only do they complement each other in being, we said people that both have like a little bit more substance to them, um, but what they could do together, the things that maybe they care about, even him saying like, I kind of want to retreat. I'm wondering if she'd live a more quiet life with me. It may be that he wants to do more like humanitarian things. Maybe he's wondering, would she care about any of those same things that I care about? Like maybe do good works more quietly behind the scenes. I do not think he's clamoring for the limelight, but he's not going to want to like take her out of the limelight if that's something she would want. He's hoping perhaps that she would want to join him in. I'm thinking these two probably have very similar visions for maybe good works that they'd like to do, humanitarian efforts, or something certainly more altruistic. I think they're well matched in this as well. I think they'd be in a great place in harmony. I think, as I always think, like two people equally matched with good intentions can sometimes do a great deal more than just one person with a plan. I mean, one person with a plan is great, but things certainly um, become immensely more expanded when you have a couple more people or one other person to either share your vision or, you know, provide another set of insights, or just, like I say, literally another set of hands. This is not just a love story. This is like a life story for two people that I think could do a lot of good together, but also be really good together. Is that possible? Somebody may have a big floofy white dog. Five of Pentacles. You know what? This will be a freaking tragedy if these two never get together. They will miss out on what they could and should do together. This is like written in the stars for them. If they never take this step toward each other, it's going to be a damn shame. The world could use them. They themselves would be more content. This would be a damn shame if they never end up together. I've never said that in a story before, ever. But this one would be, I mean, life will go on, but it'll be a damn shame. It'll be a missed opportunity for both of them. And probably for a lot of people that they would have done a lot of good for also. So I hope that they don't miss this chance. One last card. King of Wands. I don't think that they're going to miss the chance after all. That King of Wands is kind of like with the Tower card, that it suddenly is like, oh, no, I don't live in fantasy land. It seems like our divine masculine is stepping into I'm not about to let, life slip through my fingers. I might be shy, but I got plans, and I got, an engine that's running inside of me, and I've got intentions on doing things that matter. I think if he's that determined, and again, we see him like committed to something that's for the greatest and highest good, but we also see him loving and wanting a loving partner beside him. I don't think he's going to let this opportunity slide by much longer. True, he hasn't approached her yet, but we can see why, because he's been wondering, like, I don't want to start a relationship with someone if I'm on such a different page. How do you say, hey, I'd like to start dating you? Oh, but P.S., here's what I envision for our life together. I've already made these plans, so you're going to have to fit into those plans. I can see why he's like, I don't know if I can, try to approach somebody, especially somebody that I'm this attracted to, that seems so smoky, so, femme fatale, and then ask her to join me in this lifestyle that I've already planned for myself. I think that's what the core of this has been. That's what the big delay has been. But what's nice is that I think she's on the exact same page. We don't see any part of her that is, like that would be distasteful to her. Let me just ask. Sorry, it's already such a long video. Let's go one more. Yeah, Three of Swords. She sees the hurt in this world too. She sees plenty of, sorrow. She's had her own sorrows. She's not a stranger to, the fact that everybody needs help. And she's way more of a warrior. Look, she is somebody, he does not know much about her yet. He does not know what he's looking at. He's really drawn to her. and he's really attracted to her, but he does not yet know that she is no frail and fragile anything. He should know that because, come on, she's a Venus flytrap. That's not just a sweet and pretty flower, right? That's a pretty formidable flower if ever there were one. I mean, come on, it's a meat eater. But with that Seven of Wands, she is way more warrior than she is sweet and fragile. She has way more life experience in maybe the gruesome side of life than what he would guess as well. You don't grow a backbone and stand there kind of unafraid of challenges unless you've faced some. And maybe that's part of her mystery here. Maybe that's why she's kind of hard to peg and why she's like a wild card. She could have a very interesting background. She may have done different career paths or been exposed to like totally different lifestyles than what anybody would guess. You know, you see somebody all dressed up and you assume, oh, they're somebody who always looks good, smells good. And it's like, you don't know what their life has been. Just because you see them in a nice outfit, just because you see them with their hair perfect, it does not mean that they have not, been a full-blown warrior. So I have a feeling she has a way more interesting life story than what he knows about her. All the more reason he's going to need to approach her. Like I said, if he doesn't approach her soon, she may be the one to approach him. But these two, like I said, it would be a damn shame if these two never get a chance to interact. But I don't see him missing this chance. And I do see him as the individual taking that step forward. He's no coward, not at all. All right, I'm going to leave this one here. You guys, thank you so much for hanging out with me. Bobby Harris, no. I think that makes you more celebrated. You're the only male DF in the chat. That's awesome. No, don't ever think that. I'm so honored and delighted to have everybody here, and it's actually a pretty diverse group. In fact, I think probably, what did I read last time on the metrics? I think about 18% of my audience is masculine, or identifies as masculine when they self-selected. So there's a lot more divine masculine feminines out there. So anyway, I hope you're really welcomed here. Thank you for popping in. Voyager 2, aka Yoda. Good to see you by your other name, Q Miller. Wonderful to see you. Oh, Q Miller, that's awesome. It sucks. I'm so sorry. It's probably hard to remember that the stories are not gender-based. And I know, like, I try so hard to always remind everybody of that, but I bet that's hard to do the flipperoo if you're identifying in a different way and flip the story the opposite direction. I'm sorry, I have never discovered a better way to like try to keep the characters straight. I mean, I said one time, should I try to like name each character like a neutral name? But I don't think I can remember that. But really, really great to see you guys. And thank you. My heart is so warmed knowing that it is such a diverse group. I am so honored you guys are here. Bobby, thank you. Q Miller, I have no doubt that you're already very strong. I think human beings by nature are really strong. Look at the stuff we got to deal with. I think humans are amazing, masculines and feminines, and we all need each other. FK Slay, hey. I know I would not want to live in a world without the divine masculine energy around me. And I have plenty of divine masculine energy in me that I pull from here and there too, like we're all such a balance. And thank God we have the yin yang within us. Sandy, I agree. It's a really nice group. SLH, wonderful to see you, honey. Oh, Bobby, that's awesome. You're having your glow up. I love that. Christy Peruso, buongiorno, darling. Thank you for being here. I understand. I've lived in big cities and I'm a country mouse. Always will be. I'm a country mouse at heart for sure. Plus, I have a cattle dog. So when I first got Aries, I lived in a very, very big city, and it was not his favorite. He much prefers a more country life. RS, we did. I was taken under the bridge in my head. Hi, Rhonda. So good to see you, beauty. Awesome. We're bringing some Libra energy to the house. First Lady, what a great name. Thanks for being here. Tammy Johnson. Just me. Shella Hamilton. I will definitely see what we get. I try to do like whatever comes out typically, but I was intending on the second batch of love videos, I was intending on either kind of like going a little bit more specific. So yeah, we could do a new love for Libra. Sure. Yeah. Hi, Queen Ditch. Thank you for being here. Hi, Nope. Brown-eyed girl. So wonderful to see you. Tasha. And Shell, yeah, tomorrow I will be putting out a Libra video, okay? Just so you know. Hi, Lalu. Ginger, Tasha. Thanks so much, you guys. Hi, Kins. I love that. April Fresh, so great to see you. Love the mermaid up there. All right, everybody. I'm going to go ahead and still do a Cancerian video before we bounce on out of here. All right, you guys. Lots of love. Thank you, Q Miller. Oh, Bobby, I totally hear you. Being an empath in the city drains you. I think everybody resonates with that. Every empath out there is probably like, amen to that. RS, he's so cute. I love the little blue footprints. Yeah, Mr. Aries, he got the zoomies tonight when we got back from our walkie. So Aries got to eat a little bit of New York strip steak, and he celebrated mightily. It was like he felt like little Hercules. He was like running up and down the halls. And he gets zoomies usually like if I'm watering outside and he's, chasing and barking and biting at the water. But this was full blown like steak celebration zoomies. I don't eat a lot of steak. I don't know what prompted me to do it tonight. Let me tell you, the boy ate most of my steak, but he was so happy. All right, you guys. Thank you, really. That's hilarious. You like the sassy big sister Kate. Don't worry, she comes out to play or to bite. To sass. Thanks so much, you guys. I'm going to cough again. Excuse me. All right, you guys. I'll see you. If you're going to be up late, I will see you in just a minute. And we'll do a Cancerian video next. Sandy, thank you. I do agree. Bye, guys.